So imagine you, the director of a superhero movie where the good guy wears his underwears on the outside of his uniform, right? And you think to yourself, wow, I'm really about to make Space Jesus come to life and everyone's going to love this movie. And why do I know everyone's going to love this movie? Because there's an adorable dog in the movie. Checks out. But just please, okay, James Gunn, please, for the love of everything that is good, you are in charge of making a Superman movie. And as I live and breathe, I have watched multiple Supermans walk across my film stage. I've watched every episode, all 10 seasons of Smallville. Shout out to Tom Welling, my Superman. And as a person who loved Man of Steel, the first one, great. It changed my life. To see how Superman was devolved into this depression and worst case scenario, and then to see that whole Snyderverse collapse on, implode on itself, has left me a little nervous. So James Gunn, I'm not gonna even stunt here when I tell you your trailer was okay to me, just okay. It piqued my curiosity. It looked bright. It looked hopeful. It looked like it had heart. But please don't take my curiosity as approval. You over here talking about video games. Sir, I need you to be 138% focused on Superman. Like Krypton's about to explode focused. I need you locked in, because if this movie isn't good, that means I'm going to have to wait another 10 years before I get another attempt at a Superman movie. And the way global warming is checking out, I don't think we have 10 years left. So James Gunn, please, with all due respect, shut the fuck up and stay in your lane. Okay? Thank you so much. Let's get into it. Clap it. Hey guys. Marvel Rivals. It's a game I haven't played because I'm not a real gamer. I'm a poser. It looks like this other game that I see people playing all the time. Apex comes to mind, but I know that's wrong. Is it Valorant? Overwatch. It's Overwatch. So it looks like Overwatch. I didn't like Overwatch. I heard Overwatch. People who play Overwatch don't like Overwatch. But somehow, someway they like Marvel games. And the Marvel Rival game is doing pretty well. Of course, it's a great game. It's a great concept. Just because I don't understand or play doesn't mean I can't acknowledge how great it is. But James Gunn made a comment about how WB could make a game like this, no problem. And I gotta pump the brakes right there. I gotta do some fact checking, because James Gunn, you make movies last time I checked. So what the hell are you doing talking about this? And I think you're talking about this because you want to give some gas to it. But as we speak, Marvel, DC, and WB games are literally failing the people. They have opportunities. So let's talk about some of those failures, right? But before we do that, let's get into this article. Marvel Rivals like game with DLC characters is possible, according to James Gunn. James Gunn, the director, steering DC Studios towards a new dawn with a co-CEO Peter Safran, has recently commented on Marvel Rivals style game with DC characters, and the boss would thankfully be open to the idea. DC has dished out its fair share of games in longevity, including Gotham Knights, Dogwater, Arkham Shadow on the MetaQuest. It was okay, but I didn't play, obviously because it's on the Meta, so Dogwater. The Injustice 2, however, not quite reached the heights of Rocksteady Studios Arkham series, but Marvel Rivals has perhaps paved the way for the hero shooter on the horizon. Marvel Rivals has released back in December 2024 by NetEasy Games in collaborations with Marvel Games, launching a free-to-play title with 37 characters. The roster including Spider-Man, Wolverine, the Punisher, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch. Despite its phenomenal success, so far Marvel Rivals fans are calling for the Human Torch to be changed. Damn. Mainly altering the character's power so that it's easier to differentiate his abilities on the battlefield. Speaking of comic books, during the recent DC Studio event, Gunn was asked about the possibility of DC version of Marvel Rivals. Totally possible. I'd be open to it, Gunn replied, which is a positive response that teases DC's foot in the hero shooter genre. Comic book fans already have story ideas for Marvel Rivals DC variants, swapping Marvel Doctor Doom and Galactic Big Bad for the Anti-Monitor or the Batman Who Laughs. Oh wow, deep cut right there. Both of which would take a stab at derailing the multiverse. James Gunn believes the Marvel Rivals left DC games in the dust after the hero shooter launched, especially after the widely regarded failure of the DC's attempt at a live service project, The Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. You know, that's one of them. But this is easy to talk about because we talked about how like games have already figured this out, right? The looter shooter genre is a 2000, dare I say, 16, 17 idea. So, but even with the blueprint, they couldn't figure that out. But in other worlds, right? In other worlds, Super Mario Smash Brothers, which has been a thing since I think 95, whenever the 64 came out, I've been playing Super Mario Smash Brothers and I've owned every copy since then. And they literally couldn't, with the blueprint from 3 decades, they couldn't figure it out. And next season, Multiverse will be the crossover fighting game. Last Warner Brother Games announced Friday that the development of Multiverse is ending. The game will go offline May 30th, the day that the upcoming season 5 comes to a close. And this isn't just, DC characters. They had every Warner Brother character, the Iron Giant, Batman, Scooby-Doo, Courage the Cowardly, whoever you wanted in that damn vault, the Animaniacs, Freakazoid, all of these people were at their disposal, and they couldn't figure it out. They had a roster that was quadruple the size of Nintendo, and they couldn't figure it out. They had a brawler-like game that is ultra competitive and super seen in the cloud, and they couldn't get the mechanics right? They couldn't figure it out. Hey, yo, Shadow of Mordor, you love that game? Shadow of Mordor, you know that game, that amazing game that the Nemesis system came from that was so good. The Nemesis system that was so good, they copyrighted it and changed the platform of games forever. Once they copyrighted that game, they changed how games could ever work, And for all those who don't know, the Nemesis system is a system in which Shadow of Mordor, whatever game it came in, allowed you to say, for example, if you defeated a boss in combat or showed that boss mercy, that boss could come back and either sabotage you in another fight or give you help based on how y'all interactions happen. It remembers things about you. It remembers how it lost last time, and it shows the physical way that it probably died or got help from you. Similar to how the Metal Gear Solid 1 game, with your fight against Psycho Mantis, and he was reading your memory card, telling you about yourself, and we thought that was trippy. Now imagine it happening with NPCs, the Nemesis system. Now imagine, if we will, that the Nemesis system was applied to Thanaskara or a Wonder Woman game. Or imagine if this system was applied to the Greek gods that they're based off. Imagine having a nemesis like Hercules, Aphrodite, whoever, Zeus. Imagine what they could have done. But the mismanagement of WB's gaming studios and the mismanagement of their corporate office and front office is god tier, horrible, dog water, tragic, diabolical. It's like a lingering fart. That great system, we lost out to that because of this. And I know that this game would have had a hater raid worth of fighting of people surrounding it. Even though chronologically speaking, Wonder Woman in hand-to-hand combat is the best fighter, so she would have probably had some of the most dynamic moves. And I'm not talking about these brawlic moves. Watch Princess Diana brawl out. She does wrestling moves. Imagine doing the people's, like, dropping from a 20-story building and dropping an elbow on fucking someone's head. Oh, we had the opportunity to do something magical here. But the mismanagement of DC took it away from us. And even with all this talk, yeah, Kill the Justice League is ending with the Deathstroke situation, which is also interesting to me because they came out recently and said, oh, of course, they were all clones. Batman's still alive. Of course Batman's still alive, you losers. Because you can't commit to anything. You're afraid of everything. So, James Gunn, forgive me. Forgive me if I'm a little hesitant. A little hostile. A little concerned that you're talking about video games when you got a whole Superman movie to figure out. And it's not just Superman. You've put other characters in there. Yeah, I get the whole ragtag team of people, Guardian of the Galaxies. Never saw the last one. But James Gunn, please. I'm begging you. Don't step into this world. Gamers are dog water. As a fake one, I pretend to be just a good one. Don't let these losers talk you into this. Focus on the movie, get it done, make it good, and then your next mission, if you choose to accept it, is just make a second good Superman movie. Because for the love of everything that's good on this side of the Mississippi, we've never had two good Superman movies back to back. It just hasn't happened. It just hasn't happened. And they call me biased. I love The Matrix Reloaded, but I'm still waiting for this era of movies. And in a world where Marvel has dominated in movies, TV, games, comics, everything heroes for the last 10 years, maybe not stretching ourselves so thin is the way to go here, but that's just me begging, pleading. So please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you on the other side. James Gunn, don't fuck this up.